Let's talk a little Vanderbilt recruiting. Diego Pavia walked into First Bank Stadium wearing the Shiesty mask. He struck the Heisman pose in the third quarter, and he left with a top 10 win over LSU. Vandy drops the Tigers 31-24 at home. The Doors are now 6-1, Steve, for the first time since 1950. LSU, they dropped to 5-2 and just 2-2 in SEC play. Pavia had 3 total touchdowns, generating 250 yards of total offense, and he just might be the Heisman leader as we exit Week 8. Steve, what a game!
They beat LSU for the first time since 1990. The stadium looks sharp on TV. The modifications that they've made, there's so much excitement around the program. The town in Nashville, what a place to go be a college athlete. Nashville, Broadway, that scene. Clark Lee came to his alma mater with the plan of turning Vanderbilt into a winner. They are certainly in the conversation for the college football playoff. They have the number 7 scoring offense in the country. They are balanced. It is a fun offense to watch. They have household names on the team. This is a defense that's number 15 nationally in scoring or number 15 nationally against the run. They're one of the best defenses in the country in scoring defense. So exciting styles of play on both sides of the ball. They have a young coaching staff, a lot of energy, people that believe in Vanderbilt. They need to keep raising money. Clark Lee wants to win the SEC. They need to see the same investment in their program at Vanderbilt that you see at the likes of Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M. Those are who they're going up against. He's on the Mike Elko coaching tree. He was Mike Elko's linebackers coach at several stops, Wake Forest, Notre Dame. He wants to beat Mike Elko. Yeah. Mike Elko's got every resource in the world right now. They're undefeated. They're in the top 5. They're playing Arkansas right now in a rivalry game. Vanderbilt, can you get there? Can you invest in the program like that? If you do, Clark Lee will never leave you. But right now, in my opinion, he is the best coach in the country for these open jobs. That isn't the names that people might be trying to circle. And he might be as good as those guys anyway. I just have them in 2 categories, like we said at the top of the show. But what an exciting time for Vanderbilt football. Great evaluators. They maximize their players. They scheme it up correctly. They're pulling the best out of these guys. And they're doing well on the recruiting trail. They had a couple flip targets there today, Josh, in 2026. Linebacker Karsten Bush. He's committed to Louisville. He's from Louisville, St. Xavier. Louisville gets a big win last night against Miami. Jeff Brom's one of the top coaches in the country, in my opinion, as well. He's still committed to Louisville, but I talked to his trainer, Chris Vaughn, from Aspirations in Louisville, that's just pumped out so many athletes over the years. And he said, Karsten, he's committed to Louisville, but he's been eyeballing Vandy for a while. Commodores will look to get Karsten Bush back for an official visit, but that one's trending well. They also had rivals number 2 JUCO edge rusher Jalen Anderson in for an official visit. He's committed to FIU, but this one is moving in the right direction for Vandy. Programs like Colorado are starting to come around, but I think he's a fit at Vanderbilt. And so the Commodores are trending up. They were ahead of the curve with Jalen Anderson. I think what you're going to see is programs look at the way Vandy's evaluate and look at who they're recruiting, and they're going to say, hey, maybe we should be in on these guys. The thing is that Coach Lee and company have built such great relationships with these guys. They have a great coaching staff, so much juice, so much energy, so much cohesion. When you go in that building, you feel the symmetry, you feel the trajectory of this Vanderbilt program, and recruits in that stadium felt the energy. It felt like a legit SEC game. So many times in our career, Vanderbilt was an afterthought as an SEC program. They had a small window under Coach James Franklin. Now under Clark Lee, we're talking about them in the college football playoff. They just beat a top 10 team at LSU today. They beat Alabama last year. They had Texas down to the last possession last year. This is a program that's shown that they're capable of playing with anyone in that conference. They have the recruits on campus there today with their commits, their flip targets, and guys in 2027 and 2028 to play in these kind of ball games for years to come. Producer Trey just put up the list there, Josh. Andre Adams, 4-star quarterback, having a fantastic junior season. He's from in-state. He's absolutely lighting it up. This was his second time at Vandy this week. He also attended a practice on Tuesday or Wednesday was supposed to be at Auburn. Now he just decided to return to Vanderbilt for the game instead of going to the Auburn game. Lawrence Britt, one of the top receivers in the country, he's always included Vandy among his leaders. He sees the way they're playing on offense, who they're beating. That's realistic to keep Lawrence Britt at home in state. Some of these other guys that were on campus, how about the number 10 corner in the country, Allen L.A. Evans? He's from Louisville. Commodores have a really good shot at him early in his process. Garyon Hobbs, they're battling Notre Dame for the safety from Louisville. Cam Wade is a 4-star receiver that said it was amazing. Clark Lee's an amazing coach. That they're ready to win every single game they step on the field. Jarrell Chandler's a Rivals 300 safety who says Vanderbilt's amongst his front runners. He talked about the fans being super involved, how they're on the rise, and how the coaching staff is just so much positive energy. They had the number 2 safety in 2028, Casey Barner there, the number 10 receiver, Dedrick Kimbrough. Things are going well for Vanderbilt right now. They offered blue chip edge Jay Shell. He loved the visit. It's up now. Like Vanderbilt's ready to turn the corner under this coaching staff. In my opinion, how much support are they going to continue to get financially to compete in these recruiting battles, to get the kind of players that they need to win the SEC year in and year out? A lot of these names that I mentioned, Vanderbilt's in the top 2 or 3. You know as well as I do that eventually there's going to be dollars and cents conversations. And where does Vanderbilt fit in when they're recruiting against the likes of Notre Dame, Michigan, and other prominent programs in their own conference? I think that's where we see them take another step. But heck, this year they got the quarterback, potential Heisman Trophy winner. They got a team that plans on making a run in the college football playoff. They just want to keep it rolling. They don't want the deck stacked against them every single year from an optics standpoint.
Yeah. And, Clark Lee gets a lot of credit for this, but how about our former colleague, Barton Simmons, running the recruiting department over there for the last couple years? Shout out to those guys, just doing a heck of a job. And like you said, Steve, imagine they've done more with less to this point. Now that they've got the wins coming, maybe you get the boosters back behind you, get a little money behind it, and things really start taking off.
And we're not saying less players. We're saying less resources. They went out there and found players under the
they found guys that fit what they do.
Under the circumstances that they're in. They went out and found guys in the portal, found JUCO guys, found grad transfers, and found high school guys, and blended it together with a great culture, great scheme, great strength and conditioning, great leadership. But to consistently win at the level that Coach Lee is capable of winning, it's going to take a lot more. And Vandy looks to be moving in that direction. Stadium looked awesome. Fan base is there. But keep getting this man the resources. He's from Nashville. Family's in Nashville. It's like the perfect place for him to live with his kids and for them to see their family. But he's a competitive guy. That's why Vanderbilt is where they are. And so keep giving them the resources, and you'll have your coach that you'll eventually have to build a statue for. A hometown guy, hometown hero, leading Vanderbilt to their first win over LSU since 1990 and their first 6-1 record since before my parents were born back in 1954.
There you go. And if you want more of Steve Wiltfong's article, go to that QR code right there. You can get it all. Everything Steve's writing, and he's writing a lot today. Go check it out. All right, Vanderbilt fans, talk to us. If you're on Broadway, if you're wherever you are right now, maybe still in the stadium partying, but it is a party in Nashville for sure. Talk to us. How you guys feeling about the season? How you feeling about recruiting? Put it in the comment section below.